there, I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, here's where we begin. CDC employees express fear and frustration after a shooting incident at their headquarters. So here's the deal. A gunman named Patrick Joseph White opened fire at the CDC, and tragically, a police officer was killed. Now, the employees are understandably shaken up and are calling for some serious changes. They want Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to step down. They believe his misinformation about vaccines has been adding fuel to the fire. You know, it's tough being a public health worker right now with all this misinformation flying around. And get this, the shooter actually tried to get into the CDC headquarters but was stopped by the guards. That's pretty wild.
That's a solid point, Leah. I mean, misinformation can really stir things up, right? It's frustrating to see how words can lead to fear and violence. But there's a debate about how much Kennedy Jr.'s comments actually contributed to this. It's vital to have accurate information out there, especially with something as crucial as public health. We need to puzzle that one out. All right, let's roll on. Neighbors of the CDC shooting suspect recall erratic behavior and vaccine distrust. So let's dig into this. Patrick Joseph White, the shooter, was a handyman from Cobb County. Folks knew him for his distrust of vaccines, particularly the COVID-19 one. His neighbors are shocked by what happened, even though they noticed some erratic behavior before. The FBI and GBI are on the case, trying to figure out what exactly went down. The tricky part is spotting these warning signs. You know, it's not always easy to see what might be bubbling under the surface.
Totally get where you're coming from, Garrett. It must be so unsettling for the neighbors who didn't see this coming. We really need to boost community awareness so we can catch these signs sooner. And it's surprising that despite his distrust in vaccines, White wasn't known for violence before. It's a real twist in the narrative. Okay, let's move on. Atlanta rapper T. Hood was tragically killed in a Gwinnett County shooting. Tevin Hood, known as T. Hood, was shot during a dispute at a home in Gwinnett County. The police are treating it as a homicide, and someone has been detained for questioning. T. Hood made a name for himself with songs like Percolator and Ready to Go. It's such a shame to see violence impacting the music industry like this. And what's surprising is that this happened at a private residence, not in a public place.
That's heartbreaking, Leah. Losing artistic talent like T. Hood is a big blow to the community. We really need to address this ongoing issue of violence and its ripple effects on the music scene. All right, on to the next. Emory University's community reacts to the CDC shooting and its impact. The Emory community is feeling the weight of the CDC shooting, especially with the fall semester just around the corner. Students and staff are understandably concerned about their safety. Emory officials have promised to step up their safety measures, which is a good move given that the CDC is so close to campus.
Safety is a big priority for educational communities, no doubt about it, and the timing, just before first-year orientation, makes it even more critical. Let's not let this one slide by. We need to make sure these measures are put in place effectively. Last up, Falcons gear up for joint practices with Titans ahead of an exhibition game. The Falcons are prepping for joint practices with the Titans before their game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Michael Penix Jr. is set to join the practices, though he might sit out the exhibition games. Joint practices are a great way for teams to assess their players in a controlled setting. And it's surprising that even though Penix Jr. is practicing, he might not play in the games.
I'm down for that excitement. The practices and games should be a blast for Falcons fans. And yeah, it's a curveball that Penix Jr. might not play. But hey, it's all about strategy, right?
That's a wrap for today's Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett from Atlanta, Georgia. Have a great day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.